Malayalam cinema's trouble with review bombers, an internet phenomenon of bombarding negative reviews to affect the sales of a movie or a product. A few days ago, Malayalam film director Mubin Rauf had moved the Kerala High Court seeking a gag on social media and YouTube reviewers for at least a week after a movie's release. He had alleged that some of them even made extortion calls threatening bad reviews if he doesn't pay up. The High Court, which sought a distinction between objective professional reviews and malicious motivated ones, called for a quote-unquote close watch on anonymous and malicious ones, directing authorities to take necessary action. Following this, last week, the Kerala police has booked cases against some online reviewers and social media platforms after a complaint from another director. Some producers are now demanding a clampdown on online reviews, leading to fears that there could be an infringement into freedom of speech and genuine critics could end up being targeted. This issue may not be restricted to Malayalam cinema alone, and the big question is, how do we protect cinema from malicious reviews and yet protect vigorously the freedom and the right of the genuine critic? Joining us now this evening, well-known Malayalam actor and director Major Ravi, also with us well-known journalist and film critic Anna Vetticad. My first question to you, Anna, it is a concern if there are malicious review bombing that happens for a film, but how do we then protect the film critic as well as the film?
Well, firstly, Veeraraghav, it appears that the petition is about online reviews that are not being done by professional journalists, but by non-professionals who have started their own independent platforms. I find it very hard to understand how a distinction will be drawn between malicious and non-malicious reviews if there are filmmakers, and there are some filmmakers who are alleging that some of these critics have asked them for money. Why don't they name them and file reports specifically against them instead of trying to clamp down on independent film reviews by YouTube reviewers and people who are social media influencers? And there is also a great deal of hypocrisy over here, because the truth is, and I'm speaking from Delhi, I know that the Hindi film industry tries to use many social media influencers to get positive reviews out there in the public realm. So for a film industry, any film industry in India, to grumble when those film reviews end up being negative for a particular film is hypocritical, because if you think that such reviews shouldn't exist in the first place, you shouldn't be patronizing them to get positive reviews when it suits your convenience. And freedom of expression, like, what if a random member of the public starts a YouTube channel because they want to express their views on YouTube? Unless the person says something defamatory or factually incorrect, or unless a person indulges in hate speech online, and these are these have to be very, very clearly defined, and this is ground on which one must tread very carefully. Unless any of this happens, why should there be legal intervention?
Right. Major Ravi, that's an important question. I want to first ask you, have you been review bombed yet? And because you must have fought quite a lot of bombs in your career as a soldier, but have you been review bombed yet? And if yes, how do we protect you from being review bombed, at the same time protect the reviewers like ourselves from our right to review?
See, I was not reviewed badly, but first of all, I agree with what Anna said, because it has become a mode of money making or something like that. Non-professional reviewers, they know nothing about the film. If you look at it, there will be 100 people, and out of that, 2 people will be knowing about the film. They might have studied it, they might have seen world cinemas, and they know how to review. And they will not be outrageously negative on any cinema, because they know that how a film is made, how much of pain is taken behind it. This 2 hours, what you people are watching, for that we shoot for, I mean, from my side, about 30 to 60 days we shoot, no matter what weather conditions are. Afterwards, so much of hard work is put in, and nobody is releasing a film to get flopped. Everyone is releasing the film to get successful, and people should watch it. To his conviction, he might have made a good film, but then there will be a lot of flops, because I also faced a flop film because of my stupidity, might be. So I should accept it. Okay, it was my mistake that I did something like this. I should have done it, and I should next film I should be very careful. So
Okay.
reviewing definitely will give you, if it is a positive reviewing and a total professional reviewing, definitely will give you an eye open. Okay, what mistake you have done? This is not that kind of a review. This is something like when the first show is over, you will find about 100 odd mobile holding plants left and right holding, and they will come into your mouth and they'll keep asking something, 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 and they will come to some conclusion what they want to come. It is not that you what your opinion. And when
Right.
these people are saying this opinion, that time also you can make out they are not interested in giving this opinion. So when you don't like a film,
So my
suppose if
question,
I'm called,
as Anna pointed out, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my question, as Anna pointed out, is very simple. There are cases when film producers and film marketers use this kind of mechanism to bolster their movie's presence, or even in terms of fudging the numbers or making it sound like it's a really powerful movie. So it sort of works both ways, right? Now, how are we going to distinguish and say that, look, you can only stop the ones which are malicious, not the ones which are being used to actually propagate the film as a film marketing device surreptitiously?
are making, sorry, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. See,
Yes,
what
please
you
go
said
ahead.
is people are using this one for these kind of for the positive reviews and paying money and getting some positive reviews and all this thing. It doesn't happen with the huge films like big stars and all this. It happens with some mediocre film who came into the film industry for the first time or second film. They want somehow to extricate that money, what they put into the ground, and they want to get it back. For that, these kind of people are used for it. Yes, it happens. Because when in 2010, when I released a film, one guy from Bangalore asked me for this box office review. If you want a positive review and the numbers to be increased, for that he has about 50,000
Uh,
rupees for this thing. Positive review. So I said,
some
I will
trouble
not
with
give you.
Mr.
I know. So some communication gap was there. You know what I said? When I
Okay,
released my
I'm just going to
film,
quickly ask Anna this question. I'm just going to quickly ask Anna this question. Major Ravi was making the point that there are people who use this platform that there is, Anna, to make money, right? We know that there are bogus reviewers, etc. Now, but how do we then balance this out? Because individuals also have a right to express their review of a film. Now, how are we going to then say that, you only a certified reviewer, like let us say you, or somebody who's certified film critic is the only one who's allowed to make a comment on a movie, and not an individual. Anyone who watches a movie is allowed to make a review, and that's the power of the internet ultimately.
Absolutely. You know, the thing with the internet is it's a beautiful thing, and it's democratic, and it gives a space to everybody who has an opinion. The bad thing about it is that it gives a space to everybody who has an idiotic opinion also. What can you do about it? If an uninformed member of the public praises a film, no film director has ever said, oh, this person praised my film. He has not studied cinema. She has not gone to film school. So please delete their opinion. This objection comes only when there is criticism. And I think it's particularly disappointing that this is coming from the Malayalam film industry, because here in the north, Kerala has a reputation for being a space where the public discourse is intelligent and informed. And I myself have seen a surprisingly informed level of discussion on the internet about Malayalam cinema. So to hear, and a few years ago, I'd interviewed Madhu C. Narayanan, who made Kumbalangi Nights, and he specifically told me that this present new wave of Malayalam cinema that is earning accolades across the country owes a debt of gratitude to the Malayali audience in Kerala for having nurtured
Right.
experimentation. So for film directors to suddenly wake up and say, look, they're uninformed. Look, if someone's extorting money, please, by all means, go to the police, complain, out them. But don't go to court and make this blanket
But
statement for
Anna,
all online critics.
I'm sorry, Anna, to interrupt you as well, but the problem for those film producer, Major Ravi, and you could corroborate it, is that by the time action is taken, the damage is done in terms of a film when it comes down to it. I just brings me to the last question that I have, Major Ravi. How big of an element is it? If a film's really good, I mean, do then directors and producers need to take responsibility for a bad film, saying that, look, it didn't work because we made a bad film? How much of a review in the online, or a review bombing, or a marketing exercise, or a malicious exercise can actually damage a film? How bad is it? Can you just give us a quantitative perspective of it as a filmmaker?
Definitely, a review doesn't
Major
make much
Ravi,
of difference if it is a good film. Yeah, can you hear me?
please go
A
ahead. Please go
film,
ahead.
if it is good, it is good. Because once a film is made and released in the theater, if one person see the film, or even if you look at it, about 20% audience, they themselves can make the differences. There are a lot of Malayalam films which start off very badly, but then after 2, 3 days, the film picked up like anything. So there was a negative reviews and everything. But then what happened? The film just rocked. Why? Because the positive or negative reviews up to one extent. Why? Because if there is no artist. Now, what happens? There are a lot of vengeful audience. If I don't like Mohanlal, then I criticize him. If I don't like Mamuka, I criticize him. These kind of things are not good for the film. You watch a film neutrally, and if the story is good, making is good, then you give a review like that. And rather than giving the, emphasizing on the negative reviews, which will damage. Why? Because now you can't blame anybody. Because today we are looking for the negative newses. Then whatever it is, we are not ready to accept anything positive. That's a place these kind of reviews are making a lot of damage to the people. Why? Because the moment you hear a negative review, okay, I'll not go and watch the film. That conclusion they can. But if it is a superstar's film, still they will go and see. Let me see how badly he made it, even if the review is very bad. So
Right, it
this is
works.
what happens. So go.
Unfortunately, we're running completely out of time here in this conversation, but it works both ways, as Anna was pointing out. It works to work for a film as well as not. There are two very strong sides on this story. Unfortunately, we don't have time to carry on this fascinating conversation, but we'll keep it going in the online space. Anna, as well as Major Ravi, thank you for joining in and sharing your thoughts on it. That's all we have time for on the Southern View this evening.